Portland City Council is expected to hear a resolution next week aimed at condemning white supremacy and alt-right groups in the City of Roses.
Fox 12's Sarah HURWITZ spoke with city leaders tonight on the message it is sending and the actions the city would take if the resolution passes. Sarah?
Well, good evening. Mayor Wheeler told me tonight that this resolution is a clear and hard stance against white supremacist and alt-right groups who he says feel empowered to attack people of color, immigrants, and other groups who are targeted. Now, he says that this resolution isn't just words, but it's action as the city plans to make changes in order to back this resolution. A deep-rooted history of racial tension in the state of Oregon.
The state was run by the Klan. The city of Portland had a deep Klan presence in the 1920s. They even marched in the Rose Parade. And so they were part of the fabric of the city.
Randy BLAZAK, the chair of the Coalition Against Hate Crime, says that Oregon's history at its core was founded on these types of principles, which is why he says Oregon is such a white state even to this day. The state passed a law in the 1800s that prevented free people of color from entering Oregon, and it wasn't repealed until 1926. BLAZAK says the state has been faced with changing demographics and a wave of hate groups.
In the 1980s, when we had a wave of skinhead violence, the city was finally kind of pushed to actually do something about white supremacist activism. Instead of sort of mildly supporting it, it had to kind of get out in front on the other side.
But a resolution the Portland City Council is set to hear next week would take a loud and clear stance condemning white supremacy and alt-right groups.
We have a moral obligation to lead on this issue.
Mayor Ted Wheeler says in a time where there's a significant increase in hate crimes, it's time for the city of Portland to step up.
People in the community expect us to have a strong voice. They expect us to help protect them at a time when white supremacists and white nationalists feel empowered to speak up against people of color, against people of different religious backgrounds, of people who are frankly not like them. There are a number of groups, and I'll defer to the FBI to specifically name groups, but you certainly see manifestations of that in the Proud Boys and other groups.
Do you think Portland is blind to racism?
Absolutely. I think Portland thinks that it's very progressive and we're a hipster paradise, but in reality, the systems that we have, if you look all across the board at every social determinant of health, whether it's education, home ownership, business ownership, no matter what you look at, what you find are people of color are at the very bottom of those measures.
Commissioner Joanne Hardesty, the first African-American woman to serve on the Portland City Council, says this is crucial that Portland be vocal on these issues.
It's really getting to the point whereas I believe as a city, as a state, we have to be very clear that we will not tolerate hate and hatred against anybody.
And as demographics change across the country, experts like BLAZAK say that Portland is setting the stage for the future.
We're really at this moment of change, and Portland is kind of the canary in the coal mine for the rest of the country.
And again, city leaders say that this is not just words, but there will be action with this potential resolution. We're told that the city would plan to train all of its employees, really giving them a history of white supremacy here in the state of Oregon in order to combat these types of groups. Now, I'm also told from a spokeswoman from the Mayor Wheeler's office, they say that they will hear this resolution next Thursday. That's February 7th at 2 p.m. They will be reserving about an hour and a half for invited and public testimony if you'd like to come out and hear that. And then the council is expected to vote on this resolution as well. Reporting live here in downtown Portland tonight, Sarah HURWITZ, Fox 12 Oregon.